Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, where we are witnessing right now the beauty of what we implemented last episode, and that was our first boats. Now, currently, they don't make much money, and I'm going to throw it out there right now, this current boat right now does not make any money whatsoever, but that's not the point. It's about trying to get these places that we're trying to ship to a connection, get them up and running so they can start growing, and then we can hit them with the big ones. We still need to deliver goods to them. It is making some money, but it's not enough to cover the expenses right now, but hopefully in time we can build it up to where it does make some sweet cash. Now right now guys, we are gonna kind of switch things up a little bit. We've been doing pretty well. We've got over $500 million in the bank, and our networks have never been more juicy than they have right now. I'm gonna say this. Next episode, we're going to set up our first plane route. Now, I can't just willy-nilly throw it in right now, build some planes, and start transporting stuff, because I technically don't have anywhere for the planes to go. Now, we set up this recently. Our distribution hub, which we're going to connect an airport to it, and we're going to fly goods from here over to the west coast. Now the reason I can't do it right now is because I have no network set up to bring a plane in to distribute the goods. So we got to figure out how we're going to be doing this so we can set the planes up for next episode. So if you guys are kind of excited for today to see what we do, and excited for next episode when we start implementing our first set of planes, then make sure you smash the like button down below. And if you're on new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next episode does come out. So basically, right, the cities on the west coast right now, they all require the same thing. Food and machines. Pretty much all the cities require food and machines. There's a couple like near Texas that require something a little bit different, but it's predominantly food and machines. Now, I don't want to bring all the food and machines over to supply all of this place, although that is a great idea. It's not the be-all, end-all. That's what I want to do, because there is also places on this west coast here that also can supply. Like, we have a little food farm over here, which can distribute food to all these places, so that's kind of a really big bonus. And we also have our very own machine place over here too. So it's not a case of, you know, what I've got over here is going to supply everything on the west coast. We're going to do a little bit of both. We're going to do some trading, where we are going to set up the food farm and the machine place here to distribute to all the things, the places. We'll also bring the food and machines to here, so the planes can be taking it back and forth, and distributing evenly. Sounds a bit weird and all over the place, but it will make sense because I need to make the planes make money going both directions, and we can then divide and conquer the two distributions between each side of the United States of America, and it'll be a little bit more even and equal. But that's a headache for another day, okay? What I need to focus on right now is setting up something basic so I could bring over a plane filled with food and machines to drop it all off. It's going to be very interesting. So first things first, and I've got to pick an area in which we can build the airport. I needed it to be enough of the fact that it's out of the way that it won't cause much pollution to the cities around. My two options are either here or over here. Now, it's all going to determine on where I can run a train line. Now, I'm also quite aware that I'm limited to the terrain. In an ideal world, it would be nice to have trains everywhere, but I'm not going to be able to have trains everywhere on the west coast. It'll be a case of we'll have a train, and in some of the cities, especially San Francisco, we're going to have vehicles driving to it to drop the goods off. So let's see what's the best way in which I can set up a passenger route that's going to cause the least amount of issues. If I started, for example, here in Mexico, Hermosillo, is that how you pronounce it? Hermosillo? I can have an end station here that runs up through Phoenix. I have the option to either go to Las Vegas, which I think the terrain might be a little bit out of place. So I can maybe do a station just around here and have buses going from Las Vegas to Los Angeles to San Diego. So a station there, which would be for all three of these cities, run it all the way up to Fresno, and then bring it, I could maybe end it in Fresno or bring it up through a tunnel to end in Portland and Seattle. So I can have a train line just running down to here. And by doing that, I can then connect all the other cities in terms of passenger lines. to be able to crisscross over. Something else I haven't really thought about as well is the whole getting passengers from one side to the other as well. I could do that via planes too. But it does mean I'm going to have to configure a lot to our distribution center. But again, it's all going to be in the plans. So if my train line came up to here and then went that way, if I built the airport here, is this going to cause mass pollution for these guys? So that train line can still go through. Then I can have a split coming through here, through this little corridor going up and over, and then build the airport here. And then it will go through Santa Fe, the train station, and then off it distributes evenly. That might be the way forward. So, with that said, I need the train line to come up here. So if I had it running this way, tearing through all of this, and then cutting through, I'm going to build my distribution center here for the West Coast. Right, Seniac has spoken. That is what I'm going to do. So, buildings. Yeah, we'll go for the cargo here. Tracks. I don't really want an additional station. Make it all high speed. Make it, the longest length. It looks really, really tiny when you compare it to this big open space that we've got available. We'll do one train track because we're going to end up deleting a lot of it anyway. And for now, it's solely going to be cargo. Now, just looking at it, it's still quite, even though this looks kind of flat, it is still quite bumpy here, isn't it? I wonder if I can up my strength. Go for this. Oh my goodness me, look how small my square is right now. So I was going to go for the smoothing tool here, but it ain't really going to do much. I don't really know where the best option is right now. If I just make like a big rectangle, I'm investing a lot of cash money moolah right now. But even this is going to be kind of ridiculous because it kind of then goes slightly level over here. There is slightly a big chunky mountain here. But if I go to there and then smoothing it all out, because smoothing is going to be a lot more cheaper than flattening. And then we don't mind the odd bump or two, but if I just kind of work with this, we have now landscaped this vast area that which we want to utilize to build our distribution hub. So back to the train track then. This is what we've got. It's still going to be a little bit tasty, but I'm going to build it. And I might put a little bit of a bend on it like this. Let's say about here. So we can kind of, angle ourselves towards the corridor. So I build that there, then this train line come through, and then we can just kind of clip it on the edge. This will work out. So we'll try and smooth it as much as we can anyway. And if I take a quick look to how we did it over here, we had the main building, double track platform, the bypassing route, so we had 4 and then another one there. So this one might be pretty much identical to what we've just built over there. So let's configure this. It's already set up to high-speed railway as well, so that's pretty cool. Right, let's see then. So we got this one here. We got some new vehicles available as well. So get all that all set up there. So if I do the middle one first, as it would be, then I know what we're working with. And the great thing is I can always add additional onto it. It's not, as this is the final form. There's always ways in which we can build onto this. So if I just go to there, so that is literally how wide we're currently building it. So if I just finalize all of this, we'll do some smoothing as well to sort everything all out. But the train station will be running at the same elevation from, the full length of it. So no issues there, mate. No issues there. So this is quite the big challenge, the big test. And this is why I can't get airplanes now, because I could get them now, but they've got nowhere to fly to. And I've got to set this all. I need planes to fly from one distribution to the other, and then we distribute the goods from the distribution hubs to where they need to go. So this is really, really important right now. So I'm probably going to end up spending quite a bit of money right now, but I need to. Because this is going to transform me to making millions into billions in the long run. It's quite exciting. So we'll go for that. Now, that's the station there. We've still got a lot more work we need to get done to it. So we'll go for the bit of a flattening tool right now, and we'll try and flatten where we can around a bit more, because we've also got to then connect the train tracks and then merge them all into one. So I'm just going to push this back a bit further. I know it's costing me an absolute fortune right now. But it's all okay. Smoothing, we're smoothing it all around. And then we'll keep smoothing in here. And we'll create that gradual incline by keep smoothing it. Smooth around here and around there. And I got to do the same here as well. We kind of smoothen there on the edges. And if we keep smoothing around it, it will create the gradual incline between the area as we bring the train tracks together. So hopefully that will work out. Hopefully that will work out. So like I said, that is going to literally be like this over here. There's a lot of work to do over here, guys. There is a lot of work to do over here, but the big thing is I've got the money to be able to do it. So in terms of a street then, I've now got to quickly create, and I won't use that one, I'll use this style. So cancel that and then redo it. So if I run down to there, and then I can build my my airport coming off this right now, which will be pretty sweet. And let me just quickly now set up some of the train tracks. So let me just look at the other distribution hub again, just so I can kind of get an idea for how we did this then. So we brought this all out. Well, we merged these two on the bend. So we merged them before it merged into this. Before it then merged into that. Right, I feel like I understand it. I feel like I kind of understand it. It is quite long, but we'll go with it. So that is snapping straight. What's going on here? What is going on here? Right, bring that to there, and that should just snap in nice and simple, no issues. There we go. And then we'll bring this one further out. There we go. So I could bring that. Right, in reality, I could do it a strip just there. And then we would bring that into there. And then merge that in to here. Where then this will continue a bit more. I mean, it's not going to be identical. But it's as close as we could potentially get to it. It does seem pretty long. I'm not going to lie. But I suppose it's all part of the fun. Right, go to there. To which that bends to there. To which that bends to there. Hang on, have I missed something? Where's the crisscross here? It's there, isn't it? Hold on. Oh, I'm about to say then, what's going on here? This doesn't make sense. And I just realised I've completely missed one piece of train track there. Oh my goodness me, Seniac. Boy, what are you doing? So run that down to here. Right, now we start again. So obviously we're going to run this. Oh, I can't run it there, but we have a straight bit just here. Which that runs into there. That then runs into there. There we go. And then this runs into there. I want to say about here. And then that runs into there. Does that look about right? Yes. Quite long-winded. But it does exactly what we need it to do. And then it finishes it off here. With a good old crisscross. There we go. So we've got that in. We ain't going to make it go this way just yet. There's no need to because we're pushing everything to the west coast. So we'll just kind of build like that for now. I know it's looking overly complex, but it should be pretty simple. Now, signals wise, I kind of can't remember what side did they need to be on. But it goes like that. And we'll keep it like that. Because they shouldn't need to crisscross anywhere else. And then that's it. So coming back out this way, emerge into there. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, no, sorry, no. These don't go there. Because they're coming back out this way. They've got to crisscross here. Them ones are already kind of fixated where they are. Yes, okay, sweet. Right, there we go. So, in the kind of the gist of it, of us transporting goods over, we're going to merge this in to the passenger line. And then every station will have a cargo stop, like how we've currently got on right now. And it will all kind of come from this. So that is the exciting bit about it. So there's other things that we could do. I mean, I know we've got to feed these cities. So that's where we got to think about running this passenger line going up. Once I've got that in, I can then run cargo trains back and from over here. And then we're pretty much good to go. The only thing that we don't have the ability to do is to transport passengers at the moment. Now, I'm not entirely sure the best way to do that would be. Probably use Charlotte as the hub here, where we have one train just going back and forth here to drop passengers off, to make them fly over so much easier. But it will mean that I need to create an additional passenger platform. But we'll save the passengers for another time. We'll just kind of keep it cargo based at this moment. Now, what I could do for now, until we have the ability to get these factories all set up, is deliver the raw goods to the airport to make it fly over. But I'm going to assume these trains have different cargo stuff. So where that's carrying those kind of like box cars, these are carrying the different ones there. So it's a shame that I couldn't fly over to make this train make money coming back. It's a completely different train altogether, isn't it? Which, again, that's another shame. So what else could I bring back over? I mean, the train going back that way, it's all complex and complicated, but we'll get there in the end. So, I do need this to have the ability to be connected up. So this is where we have to start thinking about then building train stations in each one of these cities. Now, I will run the train line from Hermosillo. I can't even pronounce it. I don't know why. Up to Phoenix. I won't go to Las Vegas. We'll create a station just here that has a bus route for all these three guys here. Then into Fresno. I might do a stop just here and then utilize Eureka to it on a bus route. And I might use San Francisco as a bus route going down to Fresno or up to there. I don't know just yet. We'll make it go through Portland and we'll make it go through Seattle. But I think just to begin with, we'll do the triple or the quad stop here is what we'll do. Now, this is the problem I've got to deal with again, is the sheer height differences that we're working with. So we'll do our best right now to accommodate all of this. Now, for Phoenix, we're going to have to do what we've always done recently, and that is delete parts of the city to make way for the train station. I'm so sorry, but we'll run. Actually, if I pause the game, we'll run the Phoenix one directly here. So we'll go building wise. We'll start with a passenger one, and we'll rotate it. Alright, making sure this is going to be all correct. So rotate it to here, and hopefully we can get all the stuff in that we exactly need. So bam. And then we're going to quickly customize this. So, of course, half of it needs to be oh, let me delete this, actually. Because this is something that I've also now got to be kind of wary of. Is that when I'm building this... Oh, no, it's already set to high speed. Oh, what a noob. What an absolute noob. Yeah, I'm going to make sure they get it all set on high speed. Anyway. Why can't I... Oh, hang on, I'm not even configuring it. So, make one half of it cargo, obviously, so we can have cargo being dropped off. High speed. So we got to do 4 lines. We have the bypassing route in the middle. Then we obviously have each end for the platform. And the reason I'm doing it in pause mode is so the city doesn't grow back right now. So cargo on this side and then cargo on that side. And then we'll do our passenger platforms. Going all the way up. And then we're doing the miscellaneous, the bit where they can kind of walk under to get from one side of the platform to the other. So then we just need to put in the passenger buildings, which I can go a bit more juicy and go for something a little bit bigger. Not too big though, just enough where it does form a connection. And even though we don't need to, I'm going to throw down the connection for the cargo on both sides if possible. There we go. So that's what we pretty much got to work with for this station. We'll add in, do I do a tunnel? And the answer is yes, solely because I need the city to crisscross over one side to the other. So it is quite important that I do that, but I'm going to have to also implement the bends going through. It's going to be so difficult to build on the West Coast. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. It is going to be so difficult, but we'll try our best anyway. We'll try our best. So track constructions, we're looking at the train fingers here. Number of train tracks, 4. We'll do a length of 88. Normally I do like the 70 odd, but it doesn't normally play out too well. We'll go 80. 80. I mean, yeah, we'll stick to 80. All right, and then we just gotta flip it right round. And provided I can get this connected. So I can visually see the connection there, so that should be okay. Bam. And then spin it right round. Now this one I can't visually see it. Where's the connection? Alright, hold on. Bam. Do. Oh, this is difficult. Right, I can tell where the connection is. This one's difficult. Why is this so difficult to squeeze this one in? The other one just snapped in so easy. Is it to do with the terrain, you reckon? It's got to be down to the terrain, isn't it? If I flatten. Just here for now. So, 1, 2, 3. That should then be it. So that's connected there. That's connected there. It was all down to the terrain, wasn't it? So, if I also flatten... Oh, I've got to make it go through all of this. This is why it's so difficult, and I don't know whether I should actually have... I'll do the Oh my god, look at the height difference there. Do you know what? Not going to have tunnels. Not going to have tunnels here. It's going to be too difficult. Right, bring this out. So, I will have a tunnel, sorry. I will have a tunnel. Just not like how I do it there. So, to there. To there. And then we'll bring this a little bit further out. So where I then implement the crisscross. Then, right, track construction. It doesn't matter now. I can make this super long. Having 2 tracks. I just make this go underground altogether. Because I've already done the crisscross. Already done the crisscross. Already done the merging right there. And then I'll just have to make the road go up and over as a bridge. Or make the road go as the tunnel. I mean, there's nothing stopping me doing that. So, that's just what I'm going to have to do. Look at the height that this is on here. Alright, if I bring that out to here. That to there. Merge these in quite reasonably. So we'll go with the, yeah, we'll go 69 there. There we go. Crisscross just there. Crisscross just there. Then track constructions, flip this right round. Do I need it to go underground here? Do you know what? I don't think I'm going to make it go underground just here. We'll let that run its course, but we'll just kind of smoothen all this edging off here. So smooth. This doesn't look any more ridiculous than it does. There we go. So that will be our Phoenix stop, okay? That will be our Phoenix stop. So I wonder how we can implement some type of a road going over. Right, if I delete this road, okay, and if I came off here, I could drive through it. I also have the option to maybe go underneath as a little bridge. So if I went just to here, and then obviously make this come back up and out, so that the further back I do it, the better. So have that on the same level as well. Is it? I might say it is kind of going uphill. It's not a problem, but you kind of get the idea. I'll let the city work all the finer details out for how it wants to kind of maneuver itself. I mean, we could make it go through there, or I could flatten that out. If I smoothen this area, because I want Phoenix to prosper. I want it all to grow. Alright, moving that out a bit further. Keeping this going. And then the reason for it is I'm keeping it running on this line. Is so we get to here. And then I'm going to make this go underneath as well. Like that. Bringing this out. Okay, it's trying to go underneath. I don't want it to. Let's bring that out like that. Slope too steep, apparently. It's all because of this. So I'm going to have to delete that road. Smoothing this out. So this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to spend a lot of time fine-tuning all these areas to be able to build upon them. So apparently slope is still too steep, so we'll go from this way instead. Okay, we'll go... Oh, what am I doing? Road. So down as much as we can. To then pop back up. No issues there. Phoenix now has the ability to crisscross over, and I can see this being quite a prosperous city. I can see it being quite a prosperous city right now. So we're then going to build an end station down here in Hermosillo. I can't say it. I don't know why I can't say it. I'm finding great difficulty saying this city's name. And we are just going to run. And it always breaks my heart to do all this, but I know the city's going to bounce back bigger than ever before. And that is to build an end station. Now, I might go a little bit smaller, just for the sake of, getting it all complete quite early on. But I will do side buildings to all of these as well. So, if I just place this here, okay, and we go to customize and configure it, is the best way to put it. We are going to build I shouldn't have done it like that. Tracks. Platform. So we'll do one either side as cargo and passenger. So I can have the trains just kind of come in and do what they've got to do. Passenger building. If I go quite chunky boy on this and go here and here's not enough to reach over, is it? No. That's a shame. Cargo buildings, maybe? I just need a road connection. I mean, I don't have to, but kind of would be nice. Kind of would be nice. I might push the boundaries even more. Completely delete this. Right. And instead of an end platform, do a side station. Now, I know it's going to cause even more destruction. No, I'm definitely going to do an end platform. Yeah, we'll stick to the end platform. I'll just change it so it's a little bit closer. Like here. Alright, configure this. Tracks. Bam, bam, bam. Platforms. Bam, bam, bam. Nice, big and juicy. Right, what type of building can I put over here then? It might have to be like a really small cargo situation. Or maybe it's going to be a really small passenger one. They're not liking it. I mean, then again, look at the height difference. I don't blame them. Right, yes, I'm destroying this city. I can feel you cringing right now, but it's for good reason. It's good reason. I haven't destroyed too much of the industry, so it should still be okay. Build. Oh no, I got to configure the actual train station. So cargo buildings. Oh, see, I've built a little bit too close to it now, haven't I? Built a tad too close. So streets, rather than going straight in, we'll kind of come out a bit to then go back in. Right, it's the best I can do. It's the best I can do. I'm not going to lose much sleep over this. Oh, that's still a no. Oh wow. You know what? Best way to do it. Build a... I mean, they can utilize the cargo things as well to walk onto it. So it's not the end of the world. We'll do that instead, and then we'll build the road coming off it. So if I go... So down into there. Down into there. We've got our side connection, which is important to access this bit, and obviously down here as well. That's why I'm doing it. So if I run that into here, run this directly up, and then we'll have a couple of connections in a minute. Let me just figure this out. So that is going to run up, which I don't technically need to do anything too crazy. I could just straight up build the train tracks out. There's no need for me to build a tunnel. So if I take this to there and then to there, all I've got to do with these boys is just a crisscross. Because we're going to utilize both sides of the station anyway. Just a simple crisscross. It's just now how I'm going to navigate all of this jibber jabber. Right, this is going to be fun. So I wonder if it's possible, yes, to do the up and over. It is possible. I'm going to delete that and delete it back a bit. So we're going to do like a bridge going up and over. So if I do that, that then cuts across. Not perfect, but we have this little miniature loop. Okay? We have a mini loop, boys. A mini loop. Now, you know what? I'm going to T-junction it. Whoa, what's going on? Why are you building so much? T-junction it. Let him do the rest. I could have built this on that bend of the road. That's a lot nicer, isn't it? And then we have the train track coming through underneath. That's pretty cool. I like this. Weirdly, I like it. So I'm going to roll with it. So we'll get these guys connected then. We'll pick a point of where the train tracks pop back up. So track construction, we need it to be a reasonable level for the exit of it. So I somewhat need it to be almost semi going uphill, which I reckon there will work out fine. Tracks, the left side to the left side, the right side to the right side, and then we just need to bring these bad boys. We'll put them on a slight angle to begin with, to then connect straight in. No dramas. So we'll figure out all the signals as time goes on. But that's a pretty cool way to kind of get these two areas connected. Now, on the West Coast, something I haven't mentioned as well is I want to implement a lot of cargo ships. Because I feel like cargo ships running up and down the West Coast side right now will be really good in terms of like grabbing the wood, dropping it off here for the plain timber, bringing it all the way down to our distribution networks over here to make the machines, and so on and so on. That's going to be quite an important thing that we need to implement. Now, what I'm going to do next then is create the stopover point for San Diego, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. This in itself is going to be quite difficult and very, very, very expensive. So I need to have somewhat of a nice flat area. So this is going to cost me an absolute fortune. So if I just kind of roughly go around doing this like that, spend some cash, and I'm hoping then the smoothing tool will then do the rest of the work for me. That's then not too expensive. But I need this here then to be the big hub to distribute, and we're going to need a lot of vehicles to kind of help me out here. So it's going to kind of go around very roughly. We are investing very, very heavily in laying down the foundations to our beautiful, beautiful network of connectivity. So we'll go for this quite largish rectangle. I'll smarten it all up in just a moment. I just want to build this in. So we're going to have, it's not, I mean, you could argue it's going to be so, like kind of like very similar to a distribution network, distribution hub, like what we got over here. And that's where this train's going to run into it as well as this one. They're all going to kind of come in together. But we're going to have, for these three cities, because it's really difficult to bring trains to them, San Diego, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas, we'll drop it in here, have a couple of vehicle depots set up, and just have vehicles transfer it all over. You never know, it could be close enough that it might pick up some of these buildings, especially these as well. You just never know. But that's not my intention to kind of go with. We're just going to keep it as it is. So we'll go for a large platform, and we'll rotate this all the way around. We've got plenty of room here to kind of manipulate and use all of this. So if I build this one here, and I might make this a bit more bulky than the normal station. So what I'll do is we'll place that in there, and then we'll edit this, okay? And we shall place in some train tracks. So if I do bam, 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 and then we'll do cargo platforms in the middle. Missing a track just here. So do you know what? This is almost going to be like that distribution hub network, isn't it? I can see where this is going. So we need two in the middle for our bypassing route. But the difference is we have passenger lines on this. That's the difference compared to our distribution one. So cargo on over here, because you only really need one stop each for the passengers. We've just got multiple for the cargo, because I can see it's having a lot of cargo coming in and out of here that we need to transfer over to the cities around. And then we end it then with the passenger platform. There we go. And then we'll do a passenger building. What style of building have I got there? Is it this one? It is that one, yeah. How big should we go? I went one too many, didn't I? And then we'll also do cargo buildings, which these fit in quite nice either side. And then we'll just kind of connect off them. Oh, we need to do our miscellaneous of our underground ramps. And then voila. So most important then, we've got 4 platforms in reality for cargo and 2 for passenger. That's why this one's important. Okay. Now looking at it, there's no way these are going to connect up to these. You know, it's too small. But we've got the ability to do all this, and that's really good. You could argue, well, then why don't you bring the planes into this one then? It's too close to all of this. This is not really to be a main hub or anything. It's just a kind of, when they drop off the food, I have then, these bring the food down from Fresno as well. I have then wagons. It's just to get the wagons or the vehicles to these little cities. That's literally all it's for. So then if I bring this cut in through here, and I gotta make sure it does connect up to the passenger building. And that itself is quite hard to do. I'm going to quickly customize this again. Passenger building. Just think a little bit bigger so it just connects to the road. Oh, we already have one there. You can see the connectivity in the middle. Right, that's good. I'll keep the road as it is because I'm not really going to be working with the road just yet. I just want to get, for now, this connected to the Phoenix route. And we'll eventually bring that in next episode when we get that all up and running. But again, to do it all, I've got to create the world's longest... I mean, we're going to flatten a bit more. Connection. So, quickly flatten all this out. This will all look kind of really nice once I've smoothened it all and flattened it and all that kind of jazz. Just give me a moment with sorting this out. So my bypassing route I've got to make nice and long, which is going to snap just there. Bringing this one also out as well. And then this is where we then bring this one out just as far. This one out as well. And then we're going to bring all these in together. So we'll go from here into there. Same again there, into there. We'll merge this in to here. This into here. We'll bring that into there. That into there. We'll then bring this into here. Into there. And then we'll do a crisscross just there. Where's that crisscross? Oh, there's not even a crisscross. To there. Damn. It's so long. And then this one here, when I build it that way, will result in the end of a tunnel for a stop off going up to here as well. Right. Okay. That is then almost good to go to a certain degree. I can I'll say I'll probably get away with not doing a tunnel. I kind of need to not do a tunnel because I also need to have this above ground to merge in. So we'll kind of, in a way, plow out a route almost. This has got to go down in that. So I need to come from up here, don't I? So if I just kind of create a vague flattened route that will work with. Wrong button. So a vaguely flattened route that we'll work with. And then we'll have to utilize something coming down here that then crisscrosses into this connection. So it all just depends on how the terrain wants to now act. So that's to there, which I then, in many forms, that's quite a big drop here. So this is where the flattening tool comes back into play. And I'd rather spend the millions doing this than anything else. And then once we've got like how we want it to work, I'll go around smoothing it all again so it makes it look more realistic. So bringing this down to there, the reason I want it above ground is so then I can then create my little split coming off down to my distribution hub for the airport. That's the whole reason behind it all. So in reality I want to get to here, but I don't want this to tunnel. Although it could happen, I'm going to allow it. Yes, confirm. Because it doesn't cause much harm. And it won't ruin the landscape too much. Crisscrossing happens all there as well. So let's do some smoothing there. So smooth them. If I smoothen all this, you won't even know the monstrosity that I've just created. You'll think it's all natural, it's all part of it. Sonic is a genius. Well, not really a genius, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Right, down to this edge as well. And it's a shame we can't I'm gonna add some more detail to this so it's not too flat and doesn't look like a complete freaking rectangle. But if I raise a little bit of land here, oh, that's not very good, is it? Yeah, it's not really the best. I'm mainly doing this to add a little bit of detail. But smoothing it anyway. You're not really getting much from that, are you? Right, it didn't turn out to what I can be. I don't want to spend too much time doing all of this because it just becomes like a waste of money at that point. But we have this beautiful route that now tears through. Now, granted, it's not going all the way up to Fresno where I want it to go just at the moment. We'll just kind of leave it as that. That'll just be the main point that we can kind of run to. We'll we've smoothed all this off, haven't we? We'll give it one last go. There we go. So it does what I need it to do for now. We have the route going from there to there to there, and then that will eventually bleed into Fresno. It'll also help us then distributing all the cargo around as well, which is going to be important. Los Angeles, San Diego, and Las Vegas are going to have this beautiful system here, this interchange, where they can have vehicles delivering all the goods. This will eventually come round and connect in, which I don't know whether to kind of do it just now, because the way it's kind of looking, I know I've got the flattening tool out, and I mean it's gonna be like a tunnel for the most part. But if I selected here and then brought this quickly over to here, I just want to see the height difference. So the height difference is quite dramatic. So this might all be tunnel work, which I don't mind because the tunnel work is a big help. Means I ain't got to terraform as much. But if I brought all this all the way through and then kind of then have it slightly raise up, because the raising into this has got to merge in, but I wonder if I can kind of create the merge connection quite straight on and quite early on. I mean, what it's trying to do right now is a bit of a mental joke. If I cancel that there, if I kind of come off this and then go to there, so that will bend out that way. You don't see it as a tunnel, and it pops out just there and then connects in. Yes, we'll go with that. I don't need to come down this way because we'll have a cargo train going back and forward. It can just pick up the goods and then take it down. Yes. Right, okay, so we'll get this not to be a bridge. Keep that as a tunnel. Let's confirm that expenditure. Do the exact same thing here. So just bring it to there for now. Run this all the way through and into there. And then just kind of get rid of some of the eyesores that it creates. How do I make this not be... Actually, if I delete that, and then... Smoothen some of this. So you don't see it. So it's not that harsh on the old landscape then, is it? It's not as harsh. So we'll just smoothen... Oh, that's the wrong tool. Around here. Now, I haven't done all the signals, which we don't need to worry about just yet because we haven't implemented any trains just yet. But this, I mean, it's one, you can tell it's one hell of a kind of project that we've got to work on right now. But as of right now, we can run from down here to Phoenix to here, which will distribute between the three cities, which I'll have that then go into Fresno. And then we'll have another train takeover from Fresno that goes up to here, have a stop about there that distributes between the two cities just there, all up to Portland and then Seattle. So 2 passenger line separate runs for trains. We'll have vehicles running between these 3 here for this station. We'll have a station just here for these 2 cities, run to that station. Then that runs up to there. And then we're all kind of connected. All I then got to do is then utilize a passenger train line and a cargo train line going from this hub here to there to then fly people and cargo over to here, which then means I'm going to need to create a passenger system to distribute people to over here. Coming from there, probably use Charlotte to kind of do it and all that kind of jazz. But this gears us up to building airplanes in the next episode. We'll kind of finalize getting this running up to Fresno before we do any more extensions. And then once I get the route set up over here with another stop there, I can hopefully get a small cargo run picking up the goods to start feeding this. So I could pick up food and then take it back to here, which will then fly it over here, and then they bring food back as well, so my planes make money all the time. I don't have to. I could just need to utilize these here to feed these cities and then bring more food over, because I have a lot of farms that I can utilize over here. That's probably what I'll do, because I've got this farm over here. We've got one down here, food farm. I'm sure I've got another one over here. One over here as well. Do I have any more dotted around? I feel like I do. But because you've got multiple over here, I might as well bring it all to there and let them distribute it. It's more likely I bring the food over to the West Coast rather than taking food back. But I can get the plane to do other stuff anyway. You know, bring other goods where I need it. But it's going to be interesting. The passenger route is going to be quite important. Until I have the train lines eventually connected up across the country, this is going to be really, really, really important. So it doesn't seem like I've done much work, but you have to remember the sheer amount of work that has been involved. Smoothing all this going down as well. It just takes forever and a day to kind of get it all connected. Smoothing all this area off as well, because the elevation change on this is quite important that I smooth it off. So we can definitely get... we're trying to go for a little bit of a flatten here. So we can get buildings being built up without any issues. Because I can see Phoenix growing quite big. We'll have to keep our eye on it. We'll have to keep our eye on it, guys. So I have deleted quite a lot of those cities, and I have put it in play, and I've spent over 100 million right now. If I check the chart, I spent this year 169 million. That's the most I've probably ever spent. Majority of that was on freaking landscaping. So you can see where this is now going to go. You can see how this is now going to go. Planes come into here. This route will eventually going to go out and connect into other areas as well, which we might even connect up to Oklahoma to bring in some food, some additional food too. We'll see what happens. But eventually it will be connected to the main train network. I just got to sort out, you know, all in the mid areas right now. But this is very difficult to run through here, and it's going to work. We'll have buses and trucks going back and forth, and we're going to try and utilize some cargo ships as well coming down the west coast. I think that will be quite important to kind of switch some stuff up. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. I might even not just basically not make the train line go any further than Fresno right now, and then bring boats transporting people down to LA to then transport them to over here to take them on over there to the airplane. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But guys, we're going to end it here right now. There's a lot of work going on and still a lot of work that needs to be done, but we're finally making some progression on the west coast. Cannot believe how much money I'm spending, but it's all going to work out in the end. Until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.